many appointments you guys started yesterday, finished training yesterday. We can't really look at stats, you know, because typically we'd look to see, okay, where your average is at, what's happening. You know, great job with you getting like a $700 sale, and you had another custom order. Like all of you guys everyone knocked out their first sale. So that was great. We just didn't get enough appointments done. So you've got to remember, like, it's a numbers game, you know? So I think about for someone, like I've had people who are like, I went 0 for 3, and I just laugh. I'm like, you did 3 demos, you know, like those could have been your no sales, and then you would have had like 6 sales in a row. Like, it's all the numbers game. So you have to really respect that you're going to have big sales, average sales, and small, you know, no sales, small orders, everything. So first thing, I want to make sure you guys are tracking your appointments properly. Do you guys get a time card to track your appointments, your qualified presentation sheet?
Yeah.
Let me see that. So on here, you guys want to make sure you're always tracking your appointments, all right? Okay, so I know you guys did yesterday kind of rush training, so I want to make sure we have that. So what you're going to put is, you know, when it started and ended, the name, address, and phone number. If it's a virtual demo, you want to make sure to put the email address, okay, instead of their house address. Then you're going to put what they bought. So here he did a custom set. Here he did an all-knife set, all right? Then you're going to put who was at the house, husband, wife, or single. So if it's a husband and wife together, you're going to put HW. If it's a wife alone, W. If it's a husband alone, you know, and if it's a single person, S. Then you're going to put how many recommendations. So nice job getting 22 on the one that bought the all-knife set. And then the one that got 7 on the other. With that person, I'm like, oh, you're 3 away from being a sponsor.
I told her.
But I'm gonna milk it. I'm like, Miss Jones, who do you know who won't buy? And I'm gonna give you some tips today.
Yeah.
Who do you know who won't buy, but they don't hate college kids? All right, cool. Jot them down. Hey, who do you know who like doesn't like to cook, but they're just really nice? Like, I want any nice moms. I'm like, you can't knock that to 10. So again, she's just thinking of people who she thinks would be interested, who she thinks would be good prospects, because they're always trying to help you out. So we appreciate that. But obviously, you want everybody who's super nice. Then, guys, the net sale, again, is what they bought minus what you gave them away for free. If you guys look at your price list and you open your price list, it explains this again, and it goes through there how to calculate. So, by the way, back to your question you had from earlier, CPO counts for everything. For paychecks, for promotions, for career sales, for everything, okay? So my career sales are like 37 million. They're probably over 40 million, you know? But correct. But it's like what they bought minus what you gave them away for free, right? So you want to make sure that you guys keep track of your stuff, especially in your first 10 days, so we can really look at your statistics and really be able to help you guys maximize your sales. So it looks like, Lucas, you were right on the averages. I mean, you went 2 for 2, you know, for about $300 a sale, $400 and $300. So right on the averages. But again, you haven't done enough for me to really like see the averages. But great job with that. So sets sold, homemakers sold. We did a great job. No, he sold an all-knife set, seeing as a class. As a training class, everyone knocking out their first sales, and I'm very excited for this week to really see people, you know, see you guys be able to do more appointments, you know, and really crank stuff out. So, what else are you guys doing on laptops right now? YouTube. Okay, I want you guys to just right now put computers away. You finish your order, put it away. I need you guys focus. All we're going to do is use this packet and your manual. We're going to run through stuff. So I'll give you just finish putting yours online. But I just need you guys focus with me so we can run through this. Cool. So anyway, you guys need to know too that in everything there's a 10-80-10 rule. So 10% of your, like when you guys are going through with customers, like 10% of them are just never going to buy. Okay. You could like do everything perfect, and they're just never going to buy. It says 0.
Yeah, that's fine.
Correct.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So if it's just making sure that you don't owe anything. Sometimes people charge the wrong amount and you still owe. So, you know, when you guys are going through and actually, with demos, you know, like you're going to have people that just like you do everything perfect and they just don't buy. And I'm going to give you guys some tips on stuff, but they're just like, yeah, I don't want it, or I don't want to get it. It's very few people. It's like 10% of people, you know, 20% of people or 10% of people always buy. Like they always buy no matter what. You could tell them like, this stuff is horrible. And they're like, but I want it, you know, but then 80% depends on you. It depends on your confidence, your excitement, that transfers to your customers, you know, their skill set, like that depends on you. And so I'm going to give you guys some tips today that's going to help you guys, you know, with your demos to really be able to impact that, but know that. So I'm going to give you guys the goods. as we go through here. So first thing, as far as pay, everything else you put online today counts for your paycheck. So if you guys can, and actually if you can ask Lorena, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you grab a manual for me, please? I need a training manual. So in your training manual, let me pull this. This is page 30. To just make sure to review the pay, you guys have here the pay program. So once you hit your first promotion, you've increased your pay by 50% commissions. So think about if you worked at, I don't know, whatever, the water park, and they paid you $9 an hour, and then you did a really good job your first weekend. And so now you hit your first promotion, you'd be at, well, that's double. That's getting you 20%. All right. But yeah, so you're increasing to there. That's a big deal, you know, and you guys do that here. So when you hit your first promotion, and by the way, you should hit it by tonight. I mean, you're what, like $200 away from it or something like that?
Yeah, I'm
like
less than 100.
Okay. How many demos do you have for today?
Two.
Do you have any for today yet, AJ?
Yeah, I have one.
You have one for today. And then do you have any for today, or you're just doing the one tomorrow?
I'm doing one on Tuesday.
Cool. Perfect. So if you guys look on there, so this shows you once you've hit 15%, you've made $100. You know, you get to your 3,000. Maybe tonight on the demos you do, if you have some of your top MAC customers and you implement stuff we go over, you could drop a signature, you could drop a complete set. You know, maybe they get some extra gift sets for people.
Tomorrow I should be.
Yeah.
A lot of demos.
Cool. And so you'll hit your 3,000. Actually, we're just going to like dive feet in here. Close it. I don't want to see that. So you get to $3,000. Now you've doubled your starting pay, you know, and it keeps moving through there. So this walks through how much you've earned on each level. Now, if you guys look how this works, base pay. So Johan, can you read that out loud? When's the weekly cycle for pay? On page 33.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Base pay.
Oh, okay.
So weekly cycle is from when to when?
I guess from Tuesday morning to Monday at midnight.
And you actually have until about 1 a.m.
Okay.
To put it online, or actually 2 a.m. because it's midnight all the way to California. So as long as it's online on Monday night by 2 a.m., it's still going to be on your paycheck. Cool. So anything you guys sell today, you want to make sure to put online tonight so you guys have a process to do. All right. Then base pay calculation, you guys can make a note there, $16, all right, times base appointment completed for the week. So you guys want to make sure, so at the end of the week, what we're going to do, and this is for people who are over 30, we're working full time, we're going to look at it, we're going to add it up. So here, I'd say, okay, cool, Lucas did 2 demos, right? So he's guaranteed to make $32. Then I'm going to look at his commissions. Well, his commissions, he made over $50. So he earned more off commissions. Cool. And by the way, that's how it like always is, almost always is your commissions are going to be higher. The base pay is there if you need it. The base pay is there to fall back on. But just so you know, every week you fill this out. We add up the number of appointments you did. We look at the commissions, and whichever's higher, that's your next week paycheck. Cool. This is very important because I've had reps before who are like, oh, you might have someone like, oh, they didn't pay me. Oh, that means they didn't turn this in or an order didn't process. That's the only reason someone didn't get a check, you know? So just make sure to keep track of your stuff. By the way, if a paycheck's ever off for any reason, Johan, let's say you put in an order and maybe the billing information was wrong and the order didn't get processed, you know, like we're going to figure it out. Just call us. Like, don't get mad. I don't want you to not get paid. I want you to get paid. If you don't get paid, guess who didn't get paid either?
You.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I want you to get paid. So we're going to figure it out. You don't need to worry about it. Like, let's just look at it. Let's fix it so you can make sure you get it on your next check. All right. So it tells you there if your manager's, if your paycheck's ever incorrect, just call the manager ASAP so we can make sure that you guys are taken care of. So that's really important. All right. I want to go through and give you guys some keys to your phone. So I told you guys 10%, right, is based on, is just they always buy. 10% just freaking never buy. 80% is based on you and your skill sets. And guys, when you think about when you get really good, Johan, and you combine that 80% with the 10% that always buys, that's when you have a 90% closing ratio, which our top guys have. Like when you guys finish up here, like they're starting to get here, you're a bunch of our top Cutco sales professionals. Those guys are all between like 200,000 to a couple $1 million in career sales are all going to be here because I have a meeting with them this evening. They'll be meeting on their own, and then I'll be joining them. But these guys all have like 90, 95% closing ratios, by the way, with like $1,000 average orders. Like some of them $700, $800, some of them $1,200 average orders. And they've been doing this for years. You know, most of them, the lowest ones 2 or 3 years, and then some of them up to 16, 17 years. And when you, and I'm going to give you guys right now, I'm going to give you guys 5 keys. You can write these down in your notes. This, or you can write it on the back of this. Just flip this over so you have it on here. Did you get, where's your packet? No, that's not yours, that's mine. Where's yours? There was, I gave you guys the packets earlier. Where did your packet go? Oh, there's one on the floor there. No, this is something else. I brought his and mine in, but I gave you guys yours earlier. Yeah, that's yours.
Mine should be somewhere there.
Do you guys see a packet? No, I'll have it. You have it. Okay, perfect. So on the back, you can write it on the front, whatever you want. And actually, you want your manual out. And you guys want to turn your manual, by the way, to the front to page 1 or page 2. All right. Yep. So manual to page 2. So these are, I'm going to give you guys 5 quick keys that were a game changer for me, and then we'll put some stuff in the manual as well. When I first started off, by the way, my average order when I started off at the company was like under $200, like $150 average order, and my closing percentage was like 40%. And I remember that this right here helped me, even for my fast start, be able to increase my average order to over $400 and the closing percentage to over 70%. And I want to help you guys. And by the way, you guys are already higher than that, but take it even higher, okay? So number 1 is, are they tied into you? Okay, I talked to Cole about this earlier because he was getting ready to do his last demos today to hit his 10,000 mark. And I think now he's only $300 away from hitting 10K, but hopefully he'll get a lot more with his demos. But it sounds like it's something that you can easily like pass. Excuse me, really pass by real quick in the beginning. You're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for this. But when you can really share, and I think about even in your first week. So if I'm sitting down with a customer, AJ, I'm like, hey, Miss Smith, by the way, thank you so much for taking time out and really taking time to let her know like how this benefits you for your future. So you're like, I know you've heard of Cutco, especially people who've heard of Cutco, you know, because they're like, oh, the knives, whatever. But they don't even know about like the student program. They don't know about like the entrepreneurship internships. They don't know about the scholarships. So you're like, hey, Miss Jones, I know that I don't know what you know about the program, but it's a huge college student program and there's a lot of really cool opportunities. And here's, you know, why I'm excited about it. And so really sharing with them, because that's where your customers go like, oh, wow, okay. You know, and letting them know I have a big fast start goal, right? And say, hey, I have a goal and I have 10 days. I have until Monday night next week for this goal. And my goal, and you can have fun with them, Johan. You're like, hey, my goal is sell 15,000. If you want to just write me a check for 15,000, that would be awesome. Like have fun with them and say, I'm just kidding, but you know, keep a lookout while we're going through here. But making sure you guys are going through with your customer and sharing with them and say this. I'm like, hey, Johan, if you guys have any Father's Day gifts, Mother's Day gifts, weddings, birthdays, things coming up that you like are going to get gifts for anyway later that you might want to buy Cutco, like, hey, please get it now if it's something that you can swing, because not only are you getting a heck of a gift, but also it helps me out a ton for my goals. So just let them know what you're working towards. I remember as I tied customers in, even if sometimes they bought now versus later because they wanted to help me out. Sometimes they bought more now that they weren't going to buy. And then other times they just gave me a lot more recommendations because they wanted to get more people to help me for my goal. Okay. So make sure you guys do that. So that's step 1. Are they tied into you? All right. Number 2, you have to let them know that it's not cheap. All right. If you guys talk to all the top guys, a big thing with the best performers is that their goal is to say that it's not cheap, it's an investment, it's expensive. They're going to say the word expensive at least 10 times before they ever get to prices. And you might think that sounds weird because you're like, why do I want to say it? Like, it is an expensive product. It's not a cheap product. And so we want to let them know why it costs what it does. And so that way it's not a shocker in the end when you tell them what the prices are. So let me give you guys a couple little places that help me. So go to page 2 in your manual. Right when you guys tell them about like how Cutco is the proud producer of K-Bar knives, all right, you guys can make a little, you know, point there. I'm like, hey, we make the knives that protect our country. So obviously like it's not cheap stuff, okay?
Yeah, I use that too. Yeah,
awesome. So that's a place. The second place is where it says made in the USA, right? So which is actually the first sentence. Made in the USA, make a little note for it when you talk about that, or what does it say? Everything's guaranteed forever. Actually, it's not in your manual, But if you look in the book, it actually says it on that page that everything's guaranteed forever. Can I have one of your guys' blue books? Thank you, because we're going to use this as we go through. But yeah, when you guys are right on this page, it says here, a promise of satisfaction through our unique forever guarantee and world-class customer service. Cool. So do me a favor and just put a note in the company and just put forever guarantee. All right, forever guarantee obviously costs more. So you're just letting them know, like, hey, everything's made in the United States. It's all guaranteed forever. So obviously it's going to cost more. All right. Then you guys cut the penny. All right. So on the bottom when it's the super shears, next to cut penny, make a note and put put high quality equals not cheap. All right. High quality equals not cheap. So again, there, Johan, I'm telling them, hey, when you cut the penny, you're like, oh, you know, like, as you can see again, like super high quality stuff. So it's definitely going to cost more, or whatever version of that. So they're hearing it. Then when you get to junk knives on page 3, all right, it says if they have good knives, you guys just want to make sure you hit that bottom right. Okay, put a star next to that, because you guys are seeing a lot of people that do have good knives. So you want to make sure.
Literally this morning, I'm not kidding. The whole wood stuff set was their kitchen. Like that, like everything was wood stuff. Like she brought them out, and I was like, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, I just got them reshopped in like 2 days ago." And I was like,
yeah, and by the way, you know what's great is like there's so much when they have good cutlery, when they have wood stuff. You know what she just told you, right? 1, I like good quality. 2, I know quality costs money, right? They already know that. So those people are great. They're either in one of 2 places, ready to replace, or they're not. Cool? Doesn't sound like she was ready to replace. So those who are not ready to replace, what do we want to do? Add with Cutco. Sell steak knives. Sell flatware. Our spatula spreader. Maybe they get a small set for the beach house.
I sold her the shears and the peeler.
Cool. And by the way, I would have told her, get the shears and the trimmer and give her the peeler free. Because I want to get a Cutco double D edge in their hand. That's my goal, just so you guys know. Anytime I see someone who has Henkels or Wusthof, they got to lay like, oh no, I don't need them. Like, no, I'm going to give it to you for free. I gave her that as her free thing. She bought a set for her friend for the wedding. She bought actually a Cutco set.
Literally, her daughter also had just gotten married, and they had just bought her a Wusthof, and she was like, we would have just bought her the whole like ultimate steak set if like you had come earlier. And I was like,
yeah. Yeah, but by the way, you want to get a trimmer in their hand, and I would even call her and say, hey, would you, because all they're paying, by the way, with the peeler's $40, so they're only paying like $20 more and getting a knife instead, and say, I'll buy you the peeler. And you can buy the peeler here for $5 and just give it to them. You guys can buy peelers for $5, which I'm gonna, that's one of my things.
Is the edge?
I heard the ice cream scoops too, right?
Is that,
no, not the ice
cream
cream
scoops.
scoops. Only one.
Either or.
You can get a bunch of stuff for cheap. No, peelers always you can get for $5 because we use those for recommendations. We're gonna get to that. There's a bunch of gadgets you can get one of for cheap, and that's it.
Is that patented? The double D edge?
Yes,
There's
that's
no
ours.
Like no other.
That's ours.
No
By the way,
other
no one will
knife.
do it because of the amount of money it costs to do that. And you have to buy these like diamond reels that go into it to do it. Like it's a whole process. Wusthof, by the way, and Henkels go through our factory every year.
Yeah.
Like they do a tour. They know what we do. Like no one's gonna do it because it costs a lot of freaking money to do it. All right. So like it makes no sense for them to take on those costs. And if they're selling in stores, it'd be a crazy amount of money. You know. So
there's
we're
a part where it's like, did you know like these Wusthof and Chun? And she was like, do like everything.
So beautiful. So back to here. I want to keep moving. So when you guys are talking about, you know, good stuff. So again, if they have good stuff, guys, sell them gardening tools, sell them gadgets, sell them all that stuff like you did, but then give them a trimmer for free or switch something out. Give them a trimmer. Why? When they get it, I'm telling you, I sold to so many Wusthof Henkels that were okay with their knives, and they get our knife and they start using it and they're like, holy crap, it's their favorite. They always grab it because it's always sharp. They don't have to sharpen it. And they use it and they use it and they call you, and you're right. I'm like, you ready to trade in your knives or what? And then they can trade in their stuff, which I'm going to go through that with you guys on Thursday, show you how to do it. For now, we'll just do it over the phone with you. But they can trade in their Wusthof, their Henkels. They can trade in old stuff, and they can save a couple $100 on a larger set, or they can get like $300, $400, $500, $600 with the complete set with steak knives and free items for donating their Wusthof set. Cool? And by the way, they're never going to have to replace them ever again. So that's freaking awesome. Where they're Wusthof, they're going to buy another set. It might be in 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years, but they're going to buy another set. And with Cutco, they're never going to buy it again. So, I mean, if they're going to spend the money anyway, might as well get it now. They're going to have it forever. And every 2 years, prices always go up. You know, it's like my grandma bought her homemaker set for $300 back in 1957. But like life changes, you know. I also used to fill up my whole gas, and gas was like $1 or something. So everything changes. So back to here. Then, guys, when you get to 5 features of Cutco, go to top of page 4 in your manual where it says there's 5 features that make Cutco the world's finest set of cutlery. Make a little note next to that and put, let me tell you why they cost what they do. So put that up there. So when you say there's 5 features that make Cutco the world's finest set of cutlery, put, let me tell you why they cost what they do. Let me tell you why they cost what they do. All right. The next thing is as you're going through, and by the way, it's already in here, but I want to make sure you don't miss it. This was something my manager taught me, is every time you're saying the feature, he's like, you know, you want to say the feature and then, hey, it costs more, but it's worth it because, and then you share the benefits with them. And if you notice, that's why I was saying, if you're reading straight from here, you say it, it says, you know, the features a universal, you know, wedge lock handle, yada, yada. And then it says, this makes Cutco more expensive, but it's worth it because comfortable safety. When you talk about the second feature, you talk about the resin, right? And then it says, it's an expensive material to use, but it's worth it because blank. Then on the steel, hey, it's more expensive, but it's worth it because blank. Do you guys see that? And so it does it each time. So don't miss that because that's also helping build that value for them to spend the money on it. All right, so really important. Then when you get over to the guarantee, make a little note. Actually, you can put it on the bottom of page 4 after you do the rope cutting on the bottom of page 4. This is the transition to the next page. Say the biggest reason Cutco costs what it does is the guarantee. The biggest reason Cutco costs what it does is the guarantee. All right, and now you go through the guarantee and you build it up. By the way, stories are huge. People you bump into, testimonials, always name drop, you know? Like, did you guys bump into anyone already who has Cutco? All right, so who did you bump into that has Cutco?
My first people. So the first one I did yesterday was she bought like $800 worth of stuff. So she had a Cutco petite carver.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a like a table knife
Mm-hmm.
she had gotten it for free because one of her best friends was Sunday Cutco.
Got it.
So she got that.
But she loved it.
And she always loved it. She was like, yeah, this is a knife I use all the time. And like I've always like, you know, thought of like getting it, but I've always been too lazy to like actually explore out and like this is the best opportunity. And she wanted to get the small set, but I was able to get her to get that set.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, people that have Cutco, they freaking love it. And those are just great things to share always with people. It's like when they get it, like they're always like, it's the knife they always use. You know, like they're the best ever. You know, and it feels good sharing a great product. So awesome. But just go through there. People who have Cutco love it. You know, share their experiences. Then on the bottom, make sure they always know, like her, like make sure they know, like, hey, you can send them back, and it tells you like how they do that on the bottom, page 5. So make sure you always let them know how to get their stuff sharpened. Cool. Page 6, when you guys go to, so this is step 3. So sorry. So step 1, I told you guys make sure you share your goals properly. Step 2, I told you there's 5 steps or 5 keys, excuse me. The second key was to make sure that they know that it's going to cost more, right? So setting the stage for the expense. Tip 3 is to set the stage for sets. Cool. If you want to sell sets of Cutco, you have to talk about sets. And I know I mentioned this briefly before, but when you walk in, what a beautiful set of candlesticks. What a beautiful set of drapes. What a beautiful set of kids, right? No, I'm just kidding. But make sure you're complimenting any sets in their home. People buy things that are matching in sets, right? There's things that are matching in their house. So you want to talk about that. On junk knives, guys, go to page 4 in your manual. And as you're going into, or no, I'm lying. Junk knives is page 3. So on page 3, I want you guys to put in, it's a transition. You're going to say for each thing, you want to put sets with wood handles, sets with plastic handles. So just make a note to say sets with. A lot of sets are improperly constructed. Most sets. So every time it says knives, you know, like you want to say sets, or you say sets with carbon steel. They, you know, they're strong, but they rust and corrode. Sets with stainless steel, they look good, but it's a soft metal. You with me? So what are they hearing? Sets. Artie Bartholomew, one of my guys, he would always sell $400 to $700 of like knives, like just random stuff, always, right? And I'm like, dude, how do you even do that? He's like, everyone already wants different things, and I'm like, no. And he was like, no, Kat, like seriously, whatever. I watched him do his demo, and he never talked about sets. It was all knives, this knife, this knife, this knife, and they always bought $400 to $700. Like his average order was like $450, and he always sold like pieces. Typically, when you sell pieces all the time, your average order is like $150, you know.
Yeah.
And when we made that switch of just saying sets and setting up the stage for sets, his next demo he sold a gourmet, then a galley, homemaker, you know, and his average order went up to like $800. So you want to make sure you're saying sets. Another place that you're going to say sets is when you transition tools. So go to page 6. This helped, by the way, Cole out big time. He was selling pieces, then he started selling galley sets all the time, and he started selling sets because I said, make a little note right here, right above paring knife, just put the next tool in your set. Write that down. That's going to be your transition. The next tool in your set.
Is that after every single?
Yeah, every time you're like, oh, so the first tool in your set's your air knife. Do you guys ever do da-da-da-da, whatever? Hey, the next tool in your set is your small utility. Hey, the next tool in your set. So by the way, what you want to do, the other thing is you can circle or highlight. You want to say the next tool in your set is, and you want to say the nickname. And the reason you want to say the nickname is because the nickname attaches what you use it for, right? If I say Johan to a customer, I go, hey, this one has the petite carver and it has the trimmer, and they might be like, which one was that? What does that do? Mm-hmm. But if you say to them, Johan, hey, this set has the air knife and the small utility and the sandwich maker and the chopper, they know what it's used for. Does that make sense?
So the spatula is better as the sandwich maker?
I call it the sandwich maker, yeah.
What would you give for like the turning fork?
I just call that the turning fork. So you can circle turning fork. So, you know, paring knife, circle air knife or highlight it. Trimmer, circle small utility. You know, spatula, I call it the sandwich maker. But you can just say spatula. People know what a spatula is. Petite carver is your large utility. Turning fork is a turning fork. Butcher, circle heavy duty. Petite chef, circle delicate chopper or highlight. But that's what you want to call it. Slicer, you call it the bread knife. And then the master carving set, call it the master carving set. Just circle master carving set.
So after each one, do you want us to be like, so the paring knife, blah, 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 but your complete set also has the large version, and then it also has the boning knife, which is for trimming meat off bones. Like, you want us to include that after?
So I taught you guys more advanced. So this is what it would look like. Ready? So first tool in your basic set would be the air knife. Cool? Do you guys ever peel, pare, top off? Okay, that's what you'd use it. By the way, our complete set also has a larger version of that, which is used for quartering, whatever. The next tool in your basic set is your trimmer, your small utility. So your small utility is for trimming fat off meat, deboning, deskinning, Complete set also has a boning knife, which is made specialty for that and for butterflying and, you know, and so on. And you say, you can have that. The next tool in your basic set. So you guys are saying the next tool in your basic set, you know, as you go through each one, because I already taught you guys about the complete. Cool? So great question, because you're one step ahead of that. So every time the next tool in your basic set is blank. And then, guys, here's another key, because your goal, by the way, AJ, if you want to sell sets, is that they go, yeah, I use that. Yeah, I use that. Yeah, I use that. So one of the things my manager taught me is you want to get a yes on each tool. So instead of just telling them what it's used for, you want to say, do you ever cut tomatoes or limes or lemons or oranges? And they're like, oh, yeah. All right, cool. Here's what you would use it for. Hey, the next tool in your set is your spatula. Do you guys ever make sandwiches or ever have cakes or brownies or lasagnas? They're like, yeah, of course. Okay, cool. That's what you would use it for. So I love the phrase, do you ever cut? Do you ever cut? And then you tell the uses of it, because it helps you get a yes each time. Cool? So that's an advanced tip that I was taught that was awesome. So it's like, do you guys ever turn anything on the stove? Okay, cool. Do you guys ever have freezer foods or tough jobs or whatever? Oh, the butcher's really great for that. Do you guys ever make omelets or do chopping of veggies like onions or celery, whatever? Oh, yeah, the delicate chopper is really great for that.
You think we should bring like our own tomatoes and stuff?
I always took tomatoes or grapes and carrots just in case they didn't have any food.
Yeah.
You know, you're always going to ask them to bring their stuff out. But, you know, like I always brought like a carrot and a tomato or a grape. You know, they're like, oh, you brought? I'm like, yeah, I brought mine. But I always ask them, hey, anything you want to chop up to like prepare for dinner or for lunch tomorrow, or anything you don't mind just like playing Fruit Ninja with, let's bring it out. Cool?
I'm gonna start bringing pineapple.
Oh my gosh, it's the best $1.50 you spent.
I'm thinking like that's really.
By the way, all of our top guys do that for their like matte customers. They'll do like Ashley plays Fruit Ninja with them, but you can just let them go through it and just like push down. It's nuts. Or if the dad wants to have fun and just like swing the petite carver across.
Oh, and before we leave, can we get some leather?
You're gonna restock on all this stuff. Yeah. But they just like oh my god, they love it. So yes, pineapple is the best thing for you to bring. Any customer that you feel is worth spending $1.50 on, buy one. you know, and even like at Fiesta, they sell them for super cheap right next to here. But any of your Mac daddies, like if they're a Mac and you know they love to cook or entertain, or they have money and like nice things, go buy a pineapple. Yeah. You know, like it's worth it. Then the next tip number 4 is you have to deliver your word, like the closing word for word. Cool. So again, 5 keys I was giving you guys. The first one was tie them into your goals. The second one was let them know it's not cheap. They should hear this 10 times before you get to closing. The third goal or tip is set the stage for sets. The fourth tip is deliver your closed word for word. So how soon can you learn it? Have you recorded yourself saying it already? You need to listen to it, and you need to make sure you get it down. It really does make a big impact in the results that you have when you have that memorized. Okay, so really big. And number 5 is write all numbers down. When you guys are quoting prices, you know, that was something that helped William a lot. And I remember, you know, going through that. And I told you guys this already, but you've got to write numbers down.
And show them how.
Yeah, and show them. And I'm going to show you. Yeah, I'm going to show you a kick-ass tip right now. This is my Kathy bonus special. Cool. So this is a different way to ask for the order. All right. Your typical asking for the order is a yes or no question. Do you want to buy it today? So this is called a trial close. Okay, that I'm going to teach you guys right now. So by the way, it took Elias, one of my guys, his first weekend. He did 10 appointments. He had 3 sales out of 10 only. And those 3 combined for $400 total in sales. And he was like, and I was like, dude, you're good. But he was having people who were, I want to think about it, or, you know, let me see, or I'll call you back, or whatever it was. And by the way, when he learned this, what I'm about to show you, his closing went to 90%. His average order went to over 600, and he ended up being that summer. He had a 6K week for his fast start, made $1,000, but he ended up being number 4 All-American Scholarship winner. Every top rep that I train and coach and I personally mentor uses the trial close. Okay, so basically what you're doing, go to the closing, go to page 9. Okay, page 9. So on page 9, go there on your manual where it says 5-month interest-free investment option. All right. So the fifth line down, I guess. It says 5-month interest-free investment option. You guys see that? It's bold. Cross it out. Cross it out. And right underneath it, you're going to put 100% refundable security deposit. Yeah, cross that out. And right underneath it, you're gonna replace that phrase with 100% refundable security deposit.
Which is only $265 today.
Correct. So I'm going to show you how you present that. Yep. So let me show you how this rolls. So you're saying, hey, so the Homemaker Plus 8 is only $12 paid in full, which includes shipping, but most of our customers take advantage of our 100% refundable security deposit, which is only $265 today and includes tax. And by the way, you're going to explain it to them. You're going to explain to them and hear me say it. You don't have to write it down because I actually have it typed already for you guys. But here's what it looks like. Ready? So can I steal your pencil for a second? So when I'm with a customer, you know, I already told them $4,000, right? And I told them like, oh, great thing is, Miss Smith, it's not $4,000, although it would be. It's not even as much as these that retail over $3,000. Ours is actually only $12.12. Cool. And you could pay in full, but most of our customers take advantage of our 100%. And you write this down. So you guys look at this. So you actually write it down. 100% refundable security deposit. All right, so that's what most people do. And what it allows you to do, Miss Jones, is it allows you, and this is $265, by the way, is what it would come out to, the deposit. It gives you 3 weeks to try it out. Just see how you like it, you know? That way you can get a good feel for Cutco, because obviously you guys haven't had a chance to use it all yet. And after the 3 weeks, you can call and pay the whole thing off, all right? Or you can do our Easy Pay. It's interest-free, and it's the same amount for the next 4 months. Cool? So if I'm talking to someone wealthier, I just leave it there. If I'm talking to someone who's middle class or middle lower, I'm like, and if you choose the Easy Pay, then I break it down and say, then that, Miss Jones, comes out to 66 bucks a week you guys would put aside, which basically comes down to 33 bucks each. Cool? Now let me explain our Buy Now bonus. Buy Now bonus, I can give you matching kitchen tool set, entertainment pack, or super shears free. Which one do you guys like? And they're like, oh, I like this one. I'm like, cool. Well, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, would you like to try out the Homemaker and get your gifts free? And I say you could pay in full or just do the deposit. That we can get it, try it out, see how you like it, and then go from there. This is what I taught Cole, and he's been closing like crazy. And then they are like, And by the way, when you close like this, you close way more often, and you also close on a lot bigger sets more often. Why do you think you're closing more frequently and higher? Why do you guys think?
So less amount of money to be paying it the current time. So they're like, okay, it doesn't sound that bad for right now.
Okay. He's right on to something. What else? When you explain it like this, why else do you think you close
It
more
looks like
often?
you're getting a deal or
I
something.
mean, it sounds like
Yeah,
you're
you
getting
just
like
keep
an
going lower
amazing
and lower.
deal. Yeah, you just like.
Well, that's just the closing, but I'm saying asking for the order,
No,
saying
yeah. When you
100%
say
refundable security deposit,
Yeah,
try it for
if
3
they
weeks.
don't like
it gives you
they get it
trust,
back.
yeah, like it gives them like trust in you, like so they're like.
It makes it seem like it's their decision whether they
their
want to pay
decision,
that
yeah.
amount.
There's less pressure.
There's
Do you
less
guys
pressure.
see
Yeah.
that feel? Where they don't feel like I have to make a decision yet, you know? They're like, they feel like they still have time to decide. Guys, human beings are natural procrastinators and they'll put anything off whenever they can. They're also indecisive. All right, they're indecisive creatures. And so when they weren't planning on making a decision today and all of a sudden you're like, do you want to buy this? And they're like, so when you say, hey, you could put down, what most people do is just put down a 100% refundable deposit. Do you feel pressure by putting down a 100% deposit? No, right? Because you know that it's 100% refundable. And if anything, if you didn't like it, if anything, if your husband got mad, if anything, whatever happened, what happens? You get your money right back. So there's no risk. Does that make sense? So because there's no risk, you sell more often and you close more of the big sets, and you have moms that are willing to put down $300 or $400 to try out the signature set because there's no risk. All right.
So what happens when they buy it but they don't?
If someone ever returned it, it's reversed on your next commissions. I mean, if not, I could tell someone, hey, buy $5,000 and then return it. And then I keep the money, you know? But we know that, like, if when they get Cutco, they're going to love it. And, like, I mean, it's just very rare. If someone ever returned it, I had a couple returns, and it was because, like, their daughter got into a car accident, you know, and they had unexpected things that popped up. Like, I had another one, like, an emergency, like, random thing. But people have gotten, like, okay, my husband said I should have gotten the whole thing. I had a lady call me because she had put a deposit on a galley. And then she's like, my husband said, why didn't I get the whole thing? You know, and I'm like, I told you. And they, like, upgraded, you know. But it can happen, and if it does, and especially since you're closing more, what I told Elias was like, look, you're going to sell more often. You know, you're selling 90. So let's say you did this 10 times that you weren't going to buy and they did buy, but 1 or 2 returned. You still had 8 more sales you wouldn't have had. Does that make sense? So you got to just, you're closing more, you're selling more. So you might have some returns, but you wouldn't have sold that much or that often if you didn't give people a chance to, like, try it out. But when they get it, they're more excited and they're more impressed. So if it ever got returned, it's like something else random, just so you guys know. All right. But if you guys check this out, ready? Everyone look on the front. On the front of your packet that I gave you guys, you have all the deposits here, and you have the weekly for if you needed it for all the sets, okay? And on the bottom, you have how to ask for the order. So I want you guys, so right now, I want you to say that out loud to AJ. Johan, you're going to say it out loud to me, but ask for the order. So go for it.
No, Mrs. Jones, you can pay for it in full, but what almost everyone does is use
All right, no, you keep going.
Is use our deposit program.
No, Mr.
You would just
Jones,
put down
you
a
pay for it
small
full,
100%
but what almost
refundable
everyone
deposit
does
to
is
try it out.
deposit program.
That way you
You
can
just
test
put
them
down a
out
small
with
100%
for 3
refundable
weeks.
deposit to try
And
it out.
see
That
how
way you
much
can
you
test
like.
them out with the family.
After that, you would
for
call
a few
and
weeks
pay
to
the
see
whole
how
thing
much
out.
you truly
Or
love them.
these are
After
easy
that,
pay,
you
which
can
is
call and
interest
pay.
free. You pay the same
Or
amount.
you can use our easy
You
pay,
pay
which
the
is
same
interest
amount
free.
of
You pay the same
for
amount
4 months, which breaks down to like per week. Would you like me to pay
for
for it in full?
4
Or try
months.
it
It
out for a
breaks
couple
down to
weeks
this much
for
per
only
week.
blank today?
Would you like to pay for it in full?
Alright,
Or
do
try
it.
out for a couple weeks for only
Now, Mr.
today?
Jones, you can pay for it in full, but what almost everyone does is use a deposit program. You would just put down a small 100% refundable deposit to try it out. That way, you can test them out with the family for 3 weeks to see how much you truly love it. After that, you can call and pay the whole thing. Or use our easy pay, which is interest free. You pay the same amount of about for 4 months, which breaks down to the same blank per week. So, would you like to pay for it in full or try it out for a couple of weeks for only today?
All right. Do you feel, I just want you to get comfortable with explaining
Yeah,
that.
no,
So,
I can do that.
yeah, and you want to make sure you guys write it down, 100% refundable deposit in 3 weeks, because when you ask for it and they sit there and look at it, what are they looking at? 100% refundable. Okay, I'm only putting this down if I'm comfortable with that. You know, you can't forget that closing a sale is all about finding your customer's comfort zone. All right. So this is something that helps you find that comfort zone a lot quicker. Cool. So that right there, if you guys implement that, you're going to sell more often. But what's the number one way to have more sales? More appointments, exactly. So the rest of today, I want to go through some keys to help you guys get a killer list, to help you really crush the rest of your fast start, regardless of when you're doing appointments, making sure you guys have big lists. So first thing is recommendations. Cool. 5 big keys to recommendations that you want to make sure you have on lock. And by the way, why do customers give you recommendations?
They like you.
They like you. Thank you. If they don't like it, I can recommend you to people. They like you. They like what you're up to, and they want to help you out. All right. So number 1, follow the approach. So ask me for Rex real quick, Johan.
So
Just like you have been with customers, go.
Also, technically, you don't be reading out this.
Whatever you've been saying to customers, I'm your customer. Ask me for Rex.
Okay. Okay. So, Mrs. Jones, how did you like my demo?
You did really well.
All right, great. Thank you so much. So could you please go ahead and just like pull out your cell phone, and there's just like one very important part. And I think that this is where you could truly help me out, because this is where like all my scholarship stuff would come from. So basically, I get paid every time I show code, but I can only show it to people I've been recommended to. So like what I need you to do while I'm cleaning up is you jot down 200 to 300 names of people who are nice enough to help me out.
200 to 300.
It's like 10 to 15 names. Just 10 to 15 names. So I'm not looking for people who you think would buy, but people just like you who would be willing to just like listen to me like a young kid, trying to succeed. And so here's your pen and paper. So can you put down as many names as you can? And thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Great job. Solid job there. Where's your sponsorship book? Where's your rec book? Your rec book? Are you using that? Because what you just did is really solid, but you didn't explain the sponsorship with it. So
I do the sponsorship like at the beginning. So when it's like explain about yourself, so I'm just like, this is what you could do. Like at the end, you could totally help me out by giving me recommendations. If you give me 10, you can become a sponsor, and by 50, I get this presidential award that will help you pay off.
Okay. Let me tell you guys something. You're not going to remember that by the end. Cool. So in the beginning, I would say everything except how it works. I would say, oh, this is something I'll tell you about at the end, where you can really help me. I always tell them this. I would say it's a free way to help me. So in the beginning, I share my sales goals and like my different levels, and I go, oh, Miss Jones, this is a free way. And mine actually said free way to help.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is a free way to help me out. Cool. Has nothing to do with sales. I'll tell you about it later. All right. And they were like, all right, cool. So now when we get to the end, I'm like, hey, do you remember the sponsorship I told you about in the beginning? And they're like, oh, yeah, what's up? I'm like, oh, so here's where you can really help me out. So I get paid every time I show Capo, and I can only call people that I've been personally recommended to.
Yeah.
When you say what I need you to do, open your eyes a little bit bigger. You're not really like, oh, so what I need you to do is to write like you're playing away, but it's a joke. You're like, I need you to write 200 to 300 people who might be nice enough. And
Okay, yeah.
And I would say 20 to 30 is fine. You said 10 to 15, I think 20 to 30. I'm like, I'm not really me to say goodbye.
All of these moms, I would say 10 to 15.
They usually give you half of what you asked for. I know. I'm going to give you, they don't know anyone that'll buy. So that's why I'm walking you guys through this. Trust me, I've done this for 16 years.
Did you get that?
Yeah, they're $5.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Or you can bring one and we can set it up.
What is it?
So it's your rec binder. So it should have all your stuff for your recommendations. I had Zyla do your guys.
I have these papers.
Right. So you guys are supposed to have a binder set up. So bring your own, or you can buy them for $5. All right. So they're $8 at Office Depot, but I buy them in bulk from Costco, so that way they're not $8 or $10. So these right here, by the way, so let me give you guys a couple. Let me show you how to use it. So first of all, you want to make sure you fill one sheet out with like all your family and friends, okay? Because everybody does what everybody else has done. Rookie mistake. You did what I did when I started off. You gave the same sheet to different people. So when you give the same sheet to different people, what does it say psychologically? Please add some more friends. That's it.
Yeah. So she saw mine and she was like,
right.
I gave you 7 names. That's more than what.
No. And by the way, so you don't give a sheet that anyone else wrote up. So let me show you what it should look like, right? So when you ask for recs, so I just told you like, oh, so I get paid whatever, I did that. I'm like, so what I need you to do is jot down 2 to 300 people who might be nice enough to help me out. So here's how my sponsorship works. When I get 50 sponsors, I get a $150 award. Cool. All you have to do to be a sponsor is write down 10 names. So, and this is where you wanna, we're gonna pretend like this is one person and just like keep it together, but you need to fill a full page out because you wanna have all your friends and family, you guys look up here, you wanna be able to point to a full one and go, so if you fill out a full sheet like this, you would sign 3 times. If you get to 20, you sign twice. And Miss Jones, even if you only get to 10, you still sign once. When I get all 50 signatures, I get the $150 award. Cool? So here's a couple sheets. Jot down as many as you can. And Johan, when you give them sheets, this is huge, guys. All right, your recommendations is the most important part of your business. When you give them sheets, always hand 2, okay? Because what is that? Again, when you hand a sheet that has names, what are you saying? Please add more. When you hand 2 blank sheets, what are you saying psychologically? I'm expecting a lot of freaking names, okay? So by the way, I always do like an arrow to 10. I always do a smiley face on 20. I always did stars on 30. You can do whatever the heck you want, but they were just marked targets, you know? And I always put their name on the first one so they knew that was their sheet, because that's what should be here. So that's their sheet, okay? So on here, once someone's a sponsor, so I'm going to put this as a sponsor. Can I use your pen? I usually use a marker, but I'll put here sponsor, all right? When they're a double sponsor, I'll write double sponsor. They're a triple sponsor, I'll put triple sponsor. So that they have that, so they can see how that works. But if you don't have a full page, you're never going to get a full page. The moment I sat down and made Zyla transfer her names of the friends and family to a full sheet, her next demo she got 30. Her next one she got 30. Her next one she got 20. When Alan did this, Melendez, his next demo right away, he got 60. Doing the 2 sheet. The next one he got 60. The next one he got 30. The next one he got 30.
One person?
And by the way, my top person gave me over 100 something. But they have to see other people have done it. They have to see you're expecting. Does that make sense?
How long is that?
I don't care. It's the most worth it part of your business. That's the only time I'll run late, and I don't care if I run late because it's worth it. Like I'll run late for that because they're making me like hundreds, thousands of dollars. It's worth me being 10 minutes late, or even if I had to reschedule. I've only done it twice in my life that I had to reschedule because a lady was just like going to town giving recs, and I was like, but that's why I leave them 2 hours apart. My demo only takes 20, 30 minutes. My recs usually takes longer. You guys are brand new. No, your demo, I'm talking about the presentation part.
Okay.
But the whole thing takes me an hour and 15. You guys, it'll take longer because you are brand new, but my recs takes longer than my presentation. Can you do me a favor? I have my charger for my computer right out there against that wall under the desk. Can you grab that for me, please? Because we're going to die here.
Should I talk like really fast?
No. You're just going to get, every time you do it, you just get faster. So my first ones took longer, and it's just getting familiar and getting comfortable, and it just goes faster. So don't worry about that. So, but things that you guys have to do. So AJ, you guys have to transfer. So this right here is what I want you guys to do so we can get this set up. So go to where are your names? So your next demo today, you guys can actually get a full page.
I didn't bring my blind.
Okay, well, you can use one of these. So I'm saying all your names of family friends, or just grab your cell phone and just fill that out. We just want something to point to, all right? It doesn't matter who's on there. We just want a page to point to. Thank you. So here, we're going to take like a couple minutes right now. Grab a pen, fill one out. Put all the people your mom knows. It doesn't matter who it is. Like just go through your phone and write people just so you have a page full of names. So grab a pen, close your pen. You can use your cell phone. You can open the sheet you made on here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be functional, in terms of like you're going to call off of it. It's more to point to, so there's a full page. Actually, can I use your charger? That way I don't have to plug it all the way over.
So like these are all from my parents.
It doesn't matter what it is. Fill out a page.
Okay.
Fill out a page. Put all your friends' numbers. I don't care. Fill out a page. But like, you guys made a list of people that you could practice with. You could put those on there. Doesn't matter. You just want a sheet to point to. So I always recommend just whatever you did in training, just put it on there.
Write names like random numbers, so I don't have to pick them.
So do I have
whatever
to
you want to do? Fill out, hey, ready?
pictures.
Objective. Have a full page of names and numbers. I don't care if it's the ones from your cell phone. I don't care if it's the ones you did in training. Just transfer them there. We just want a full page of name and numbers.
So these are the pages I'm turning in for the scholarship later. Not this specific one, but like when other people.
No, the yellow sheet that they sign their names on. That's what we'll get. No,
what is
not at the current moment. It was like turning into a furnace.
Oh.
So I'll close it a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't open and then we closed it, and then I was like, I'm like sweating from every part of me.
I was going to tell you something earlier and then I forgot. Oh,
Do you like all set up?
we'll hit 10.
Okay.
And 10,332 is where he's at right now.
He's got 2 more, right? And now he has
Uh-huh.
one.
So the homemaker was like a ton of stuff, and then He's still trying to hear back from that other lady.
Oh, the Cali?
Yeah.
Oh, so he didn't even get that one yet.
No.
Oh, cool.
No, I don't think so.
So just that one sale, 2 o'clock.
Because it didn't sound like it when he called me.
Mhm.
Like the order sounded different.
Okay.
But it could be the same one. I don't know. But he has 2 more regardless, so he could still get to 15.
That's what I was telling him. And he could do one tonight after Young Life.
Mm-hmm.
Like with one of the Young Life leaders, or I don't know, there's people from like the church or the club or whatever. Because they're done. His Young Life is at 7:30, and they're done like at 9 or 9:30. And then also, I wanted to, if you can talk to him whenever you talk to him again about any of the family, like gifts, like getting gifts. Be like, I wouldn't give up on 15. You can hit 15. Like we've seen people do
Yeah, and
it.
I told him, like, see if your dad needs to buy gifts for the people at the company, your mom.
Mm-hmm. Mother's Day. That's how we did. What's his name from Galveston? Mother's Day gifts. His grandpa bought ultimates for the people from So mentioned that. So does he have any like main people that he'd like want to hook up with a really nice Mother's Day gift or Father's Day gift? And tell him Caden did that. Something. Yeah.
I wonder if this kid knows him. It's the same as Brad here.
Yeah, I don't know. But tell him that story and be like, oh yeah, we brought it up to Caden's grandpa, and he was like, oh, what a great idea. And they bought like Mother's Day gifts, and that like, $10,000. Yeah, so. Yeah, let's do it. I like it. I like it a lot. We're getting our sponsorship organized.
Yeah, I was telling Zyla that we're gonna start doing on day 2 the pre-made binders. So I need to sit down this week.
We have a little party. Well, when the guys are here next week, and like they all come for AM training, like a little station. You're the highlighter. You're the inputter. You put the yellow papers. Yeah. Just do it. It'll be fast. It'll be fast. We'll knock it out. I think in 10 minutes we can make like 100 of them. We just need to have like all the stuff. They're 4 to 7, and then we go to.
Then you're piecing out with us, right?
To the top golf. The golf at the top. To do this. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with them, and then tomorrow. I have a girl on the way who's really excited.
I have like 5 more people that I need to set, but I set like 3 people. I just need to go small.
Mariah, Pete Ham's friend, is on her way. She's like, I can't wait to meet you. I'm gonna tell her she's meeting with you, but I want to say hi when she gets here. So she's on her way. What is that? Do you have a picture? Are we allowed to see it? I want to see
I
it.
want to see the picture.
Because all I've seen is feet.
I
know. By the way, this is Justin. Are you past 2 million? What are you at now?
Probably like 2.3.
2.3
so
million.
millions.
By the way, Justin's in our company's Hall of Fame, one of the top reps. I was telling you guys all the top guys are coming. These guys just started this weekend. Two sales for like 800 something bucks. He sold. Had his first order, right, custom. 2 for 2 sold all knife set, and then like $300. Just starting off. But I want to see the baby.
Okay, well,
Keep writing. Let's go. I need a full page. Fill it out.
Figure out how to do this.
Look, if you click that exclamation point.
Did Adrian call you today?
No, she didn't.
No, it's a guy, but he didn't call you.
Oh
No.
my gosh.
You can click on one of them.
She's so pretty.
I know, dude. I love her. She's so cute.
It's the coolest little thing I ever created.
She looks like Sarah.
I know.
She's
You should
kinda
see her.
Asian.
She
Why
like
does she look
changes
kind of
everything.
Asian?
She
Because
looks.
Sarah's eyes are kind of
I'll show
Asian.
you. That was her the day she was born.
Oh,
Oh.
she's super Asian.
She's like changed completely since then.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Here's another photo.
So is it now 3 weeks too?
Oh,
Oh
my
my God.
goodness.
You want to see a baby?
Oh,
Yeah, I love
This is our
babies.
first baby.
I know it's a cool feeling.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
man, but then
So
like another
Justin
one, she
earns
looks
like
you.
over $100 grand a year doing this super part time,
Yeah, she looks
and he
more
owns
Asian.
several other companies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's so cute.
Can you give these guys any words of wisdom real quick?
Sure. I'd say just set a goal every week. A practical goal. Like no number goal. Like all right, every week I'll sell 2,000. And that's what I did. When I knew it was new, I said, all right, sell 2,000 for 10 weeks straight. I'm just gonna do that no matter what. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna make it happen. Make it my yearbook. I'm gonna talk to people on Facebook. I'm gonna schedule appointments with their parents. I'm just gonna figure out how to sell $2,000 a week.
I did that, and by doing a lot of appointments, that's what it boiled down to. And then at each appointment, I always ask for names and numbers. I got good at that approach. I just got as many names and numbers as I could. And now, literally, I have books and books and books like stacked.
You have like a secretary?
Yes. Office. Two people work for me. Yes.
So like, how long did it take you to start like personalizing more what you said rather than just reading off of this?
Good question. You know, I basically used that for as long as I needed to use it until I knew the info. And then from there, I, listen to the top reps. Like, if you want to be a star, you got to follow the star. So, and there's tons of audios on the internet you can listen to. And that's what I did. I just, like, the person who's learning the most is the person who's going to make the most. So you can go, I don't know, Kathy will show you some.
Like Vector Connect and the different
And you
audio.
can listen to audios and just model your approach after the best.
Yep, and these guys will speak at different meetings. I'm going to talk to you guys later too to see who wants to speak, what dates you guys are available for the different. But you'll hear them speak at different events or meetings, and they just have so much great knowledge, not just in Cutco, like in and out of the business. Like Justin wrote a great book last year called Visions to the Top. He also just wrote a book on how to write a book, and just being able to learn from them on tools that'll help you be great entrepreneurs, and just great people, period. So a lot of great leadership skills. Like I never miss an event. You'll see a lot of the top guys coming. They don't have to do that, and you can always just gain knowledge from them. There's talks we have recorded from last summer where Justin's speaking, some of the other guys are speaking at our conferences that we have on our YouTube channel, and it's awesome.
I have a very distinct handwriting.
Doesn't matter. Just fill
Hey
it out.
guys, best of success to y'all.
Kick
Thank
butt.
you.
All right, just fill it out. It's just a full page to point to real quick. You're not going to be on it real long.
I don't think I have 30 names right now. I think I have
Open your cell phone.
Literally, I'm just
And
writing
write them
down
down.
people and putting
You mean
down
literally
random
anybody?
numbers,
Literally.
Okay.
Literally fill out a paper.
I hear you.
That's all you need to do. Fill it out. Names and numbers.
So like, I didn't know I was supposed to use one of those papers for recommendations with my grandma. So she wrote them on a little paper that she had.
So you'll just transfer it, make
Yeah.
one for her, and put her
I
name
left
on
that
top.
at her house.
Okay. Yeah, you'll transfer it over and write it down.
No, I have to go. To one too. Oh, you do? Are you getting picked up? Is your mom picking you up now?
No, but your dad's getting us a car, right?
Yeah.
She's probably gonna give me some food.
Alright. I mean, when I get to my crib, I'm leaving immediately.
Yeah, I was like, don't just spin out. All right, so I'll put there's a sponsor. So again, these are good little smelling foods, stars. For anyone watching, little arrows, smiley face, stars. You can also point to ask them if you can get a free peeler, because you can tell them, and that's going to be one of my tips for you guys here, but you can give them a peeler for filling out a page or talking to 3 people for you.
If a customer just calls, then I can pick up right now.
Finish that real quick.
What is that?
You can write later.
That's what I'm messing with.
Buy them for $5. You guys can buy them for $5.
Yeah.
And then you just got 30 names for $5. Think about it, you're running a business. So it costs money to spend, you have to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
but you want to do good, good investments.
All right, I'm just putting my best friends in. So in Austin next year, if I want to do some summer game, there's like offices there that I'll report to.
There are. Are you not coming back home for the summer?
Well, I guess I am, but maybe during the school year or something.
Yep. Some of the guys transfer while they're over at UT, and then they'll come back, or whatever school you go to. You guys at Edwards, St. Edwards College, UT.
Are you going to St. Edwards?
No, I'm going to UT.
All right, so we'll get those. So these should be like this. Like I'd want to have as many set up like this as possible in your book. You want to have one that's totally full. You want to have, you'll have one at 20 or whatever. Combine any of the small ones. This one they already combined because you gave them the same sheet, so that was easy. I already did it.
Do a lot of people, like, if they suck, they, like, run out of referrals?
Do
people, like, run out of referrals frequently if they just, like, suck?
If they don't follow the program, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't ask for recs, then you have no one else to see.
I'm guessing that's what causes a lot of people to quit.
No, it's different. Some people just don't like to deal. My brother doesn't like rejection. He didn't like hearing no. Some people don't ask for the order. Like they're just like, they're not good with, like they just don't enjoy being with people.
Yeah.
And then, I'd say recommendations. I don't know, not in my office because I teach my guys how to get a lot of recs. So it's not an issue my guys have. It's more them being lazy, not making phone calls, or they don't want to make phone calls. And it's like, that's the business. It's like if you're fire rescue and you're like, I just don't like going out when the ambulance thing goes off. Well, it's probably not a good job you should do because that's kind of what you do. All right. So I'm putting here triple sponsor. All right. If you want to call them real quick, like if it's fast, just tell me you're in the middle of a training because I'm going to keep going. Or you can just wait like 30 minutes and I'll be finishing up.
Yeah, the one that
I told you 5:30.
is the place like it closes at like 5:45. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it there.
But if you're leaving, it's fine.
Yeah, I have to drive. I feel like
Yeah, they were here earlier.
Nice.
Stuff.
because this is the only way. The car is the only way I get to make appointments. My parents are like, we're not driving.
Okay, so look, when you show someone you're on, put your phone down. I got you for 30 more minutes. I want you right here. All right. No, not now that I know you're leaving at 5. So you go through here, and then you go, let me show you how the sponsorship works. When I get 50 sponsors, I get a $150 award. So you fill out a full sheet like this, you would sign 3 times. You get to 20, you'd sign twice. And even if you only get to 10, you still sign once. When I get all 50, I get my $150 award. Cool?
I like it.
Here's a couple sheets, and you hand them 2 sheets that are all marked up. You hand them 2 sheets, and you go, jot down as many as you can. They go, oh, I don't know that I could write and fill out 2. That's what people say. I'm like, well, I'll be brainstorming. Don't worry. I'm like, you're allowed to cheat. You can use your church directory, neighborhood directory, school directory, cell phone. I'm like, don't worry, I'll help you out. oh, is it cool if I use a sink? And I'm going to go, I use a sink. All right. So step 1, follow the approach. You got to have it down. Make sure you're asking properly. You're asking with confidence. Number 2 is this: stay organized. You need to make sure your scholarship binder is set up. You need to make sure you have pages with targets. Cool. Step 3, you have to give thought joggers. All right. You have to help them brainstorm. People are always thinking of people about. We're not on there. I'm just giving you the 5 keys that are not on there. So you got to give them thought joggers. So something that we did is in the front of your book, we put a thought jogger sheet. So make your own if you want, but sit down and ask them. Who do you know who's super nice? Who do you know that loves to cook? Who do you know that has? Who do you know that? This is one of my guys had made for himself. But you want to go through and give them thought joggers, friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, kids' friends. And guys, this is a big, big key I teach all my top guys. I call it rec sheet hand back, all right? And so when they give you, whatever they give you, you hand back the sheet. Johan, turn your phone the other way. I'm going to throw it at the wall. Thank you. All right? So listen up. When they give you 2 names, 5 names, 7 names, whatever they gave you, you say, oh, thank you so much, Miss Jones. You turn it around and you literally just go, now, who do you know who won't buy, but they're super nice and don't hate college seniors? All right, cool. And who do you know who's nice from work? And who do you, and you brainstorm. Because the first people they write, whether it's 2, 5, 7, 10, whatever it is people they think that would actually like Cutco. So then you hand back. And I'm just telling you, like, remember Eddie Rizzo? He's like, does that really work? I'm like, do it. And he did it. The lady had given him 6 people. He gave it back. He got to 30. I had a lady who gave me 3, and then she got to 36 when I gave it back. And it's like, say thank you. All right, awesome. Boom. Now, who do you know who? And then get more. Do that. You cannot ever get less than 10. I'm like, and I tell him, like, I can't get less than 10. My manager will tell me, I'll get fired. Like, did you not like me? I'm like, did you not like my presentation? Like, I'm like offended if someone didn't give me at least 10. I expect 20 or more every time. I want a full sheet. Like, if you don't want to write 2 sheets, that's cool, but give me a sheet. But anyway, 4th thing is handle objections. You know, like the most common things, people, they're asking you like, oh, or they say like, oh, I just don't know anyone. They don't know anyone that would want to buy Cutco. That's fine. Who do you know who's just super nice and eats? Who do you, I'm like, who do you know that works and eats? You know, they laugh. And I'm like, no, seriously. I'm like, who do you know that doesn't hate high school seniors? Okay, cool. Who do you know that, whatever. Then the next thing, so number 5 is the peeler program. So for every 15, if someone gives you 15 recommendations, you can give them a free peeler. I mean, it costs you $5. It's up to you. I gave it if they gave me 30. But even for 15, just getting to 15, like give them it's a $40 peeler, guys, that you're giving them. Cool. So use that peeler, or you know, if you can put it on your order form or just buy them for $5. So the company lets us do that. They're called CGA peeler, customer generated appointment peelers. You can give me $20, I'll give you 4 of them. So I have to order more. I don't have them right now. But the top guys, they all use that to always make sure. That's how you make sure you're always getting recommendations. Like if they got you 3 more appointments, like the guys use it if the customer called their friends and got them 3 more appointments because they just said, oh, hey, you want to call your friend and just let them know, you know, I'm graduating from St. John's. I'm going to be studying. And you go through there and tell them I'm going to be studying at Rice. You know, I'm working towards a scholarship showing Cutco, and they call their friends and they get you 3 appointments. If my customer gets me 3 demos while I'm there, is it worth me spending $5? Yeah, like even if you didn't sell crap, you made 45. Yeah. You know, so absolutely, or sorry, 48. It's absolutely worth it. So 15 recs, or if they can get me 3 demos while I'm there. Okay. And by the way, that's what this coaching sheet is for, guys. And we'll talk about this more later. But fill in your info. So you need to also put your information here, so that you can have customers. You know, like if they call their friend for you, it's there. All right. So it's super crucial that you guys stick with your original list. And I'm going to hold your questions to the end. I'm going to meet with you when they're gone. Yeah. All right. So if you guys go to the second page in this packet, this is for you guys to sit. And because we're in a rush, you guys are going to work on this later. But you, first off, with recommendations, unless you know them, don't touch them. Cool. You're just stockpiling. You want to get over 100 before you touch recs. Now, there's different gears of recs. So some of your first recs, you are connected to them. You just didn't have their number, you know, like you know of them, they know of you. Those are fine. And I'm going to show you the acquaintance approach because there's different approach for people you know really well and people you haven't talked to in a year or you only see 2 or 3 times a year, you know. So I'm going to show you guys that in a moment. But there's your immediate family and closest friends. There's the people that, you know of, they know of you, but you don't talk to regularly. That's what I'm going to show you how to call. There's your chicken list, people that you know, but you're too chicken to call. Or they're a similar association, you've never really met them. And then there's people who are referrals, okay? If you go from 1st to 4th year, you freaking stall out. So you have to understand that. So week 1, this is the ideal situation is week 1, you're 100% on recommendations. 100% on your initial list, 0 recommendations. Week 2, 75% initial list, 25% recommendation. Week 3, it's 50-50. Week 4, 25% initial, 75 recs. And by week 5, you're fully on recommendations. That's the proper transition going through, all right? So one of the things we want to do with everyone, and we'll do with you guys later, and you'll work on this later, is making sure you rewrite. Who have you not seen from your initial list? Who did you have to reschedule? You know, making your list and making your new top 10 list from now, or top 20 list, you know, from now through the team meeting, okay? Like how many more can you get if you use Facebook, neighborhood directories, grad party lists, parent, school, church, sports, you know, like you've got to use every resource that you have. And so some people are just chicken to do it, but it's like, how many do you know from these different resources? And then how many do you feel comfortable calling? A bonus thing you can do, flip the page, Philippe's parents. So this, by the way, is a thought joggers for you guys for more people to add to the list, all right? So I was gonna do this out loud now, but I wanna make sure we get through everything here and we know all the phone stuff, and then we'll work on this. But this right here is a thought jogger, so you guys can think of more people to write down. And again, you can go through this with your parents, you can go through this with best friends' parents to really help you guys out in success, all right? Then if you guys, we're gonna go through phone tips, but I put this in the wrong order, but do you guys see this? This right here is a bonus way to get more appointments. If you guys flip to the picture, all right? And so this is like Philippe's grandfather was like, hey, good morning, world's greatest Facebook friends. My grandson attends Texas A&M University. He's working towards Cut, and is working for Cutco. He's working for a scholarship, gets paid to present the product. There's no pressure to get anything because he gets paid to show it, and he can show it live or online if you live out of the area. If you want to help him out, please message him. And then like what's so cool is like people see that, their friends see that, they're all Mac customers. People who own Cutco will comment and go, oh my God, I have Cutco, I love it. Oh, hey, tell your grandson I'll help him. Oh, tell whatever. And so they comment on there and you can get a lot of great appointments. This helped David Buzali hit 10K in his fast start. This helped almost every one of my top guys. Like having their mom, auntie, best friend's parents, have them put up a post. Because even though your generation doesn't use Facebook as much, my generation uses it a lot. So 30s, 40s, 50s are the main people that are using Facebook on a constant basis, where you guys are more Snapchat, Instagram generation, all right? So this is huge. Then you have here, so text message for people who don't pick up, all right? So this is when you're calling recommendations, and you guys aren't on recommendations yet, but for recommendations that don't pick up, as you're getting those, you're just like, oh, hey, Miss Smith, this is Kathy. I promised Julie I would call you, but I don't want to interrupt anything. It's a quick favor for a scholarship I'm eligible for. When would be a good time to give you a call? Cool. And so that's a text that you can send them, you know, if you have someone that doesn't pick up. But again, you shouldn't start recs until next week unless you know them, all right? But Facebook for customers, put a star next to that. That's just a big thing I would be doing. Ask your parents to post it as their status, you know, ask any of your customers. By the way, take a selfie with your customers. Veronica does that all the time. She sold $3,000 while we were sitting in a meeting from a lady who saw a post and sent her a Facebook message and said, I need Cutco, I need this, that. She was gonna buy like $400. Veronica talked to her, gave her a deal, upgraded her, sold $3,000, literally in 10 minutes. Easy. You'll learn that, and that's what we'll go through on Thursday. I'm going to give you some great keys for closing sales and bonus deals. But Veronica brought up gifts. That's how she did it. So you weren't here Saturday morning when I taught this. Remember how I talked about like all the gift stuff?
Oh, the gift.
Yep. So she's like, oh, by the way, well, first you show them. I went through a process. I'll show you the picture. But you show them larger set. She goes, if you get this set, you get blank deal. And the lady was like, oh, you show them flatware. Hey, do you need steak knives? Hey, and she brought up all the things. They go, oh, yeah, we need that. She's like, oh, we have gardening and fishing. Oh, yeah, you know what? We need that too. And so by just you recommending stuff, boom, all of a sudden, she had a $3,000 order. But by the way, every demo, when she gets wrecked, she says, oh, can we take a selfie real quick? Can you put a post up for me saying, like, Johan's working really hard for a scholarship with Cutco. If anyone's willing to help him, he gets paid to do it, you know, contact him. And they tag you. And you're going to get people, 1,000% by the way. And you might get some freaking killer customers from doing that. So can you guys on your demo today, ask your customers to just, and here's what you do, ready? You finish the demo, you finish getting your recs, Johan, and then you go, hey, Miss Susie, do you use Facebook? Most of them are gonna say what? Yeah. Oh yeah, all right. And you're like, oh, would you be willing to put a selfie of us up and just say, hey, Johan's working hard for a scholarship, showing Cutco, he gets paid to do it, no obligation if you're willing to help him, or some version of that, like contact him. And they're like, sure, honey. and take a selfie with them and have them post it up. Cool? Boom. You just got more appointments. So that's another big thing that you guys can do. Are you calling page 31 that I showed you guys earlier? Calling friends to get parents' numbers. And so some are like, oh yeah, no problem. And the people that you're close to, like I was just like, yo, I need to ask Mom a quick question for a scholarship, Then there's some that are like, oh, I don't, like that means you're not that close to them. Don't worry about those yet. I'll show you that later. All right. So big thing I want to go, if you guys can go back, because this was put in the wrong place, and get vector phone tips. So we're going to go phone tips and then the FIRMA. So this is really big. And by the way, normally I spend like 30 minutes going through this like in depth, but I'm going to give you guys a quick version. You guys are going to read this out loud. All right, but this is really, really important, and I'm going to add to it. So first thing, go ahead and read everything under the first mark, important points. Go. Out loud. You. Go.
Oh, okay.
You first.
So set a goal before you get on the phone. Set 3 for tomorrow and 2 for the next day. Know when you want to set appointments. Ask for 2 times.
By the way, this is super important. This is what I was telling you earlier. When you're on the phone, you've got to always ask for specific times. Yeah. Develop the right habits early on. I know that with your family, you can say whatever mumbo jumbo and get appointments whenever. But if you build the muscles, you build the foundation the right way, like it's built to last. And that's really important that you guys practice the right habits. Keep going.
Make 10, 20, or 30 phone calls. Contact all yes people ASAP or within.
So what's a yes person? If they called their friend for you and said, hey, would you be willing to help Johan out? And they go, yeah, no problem. Talk to them. You got to call those immediately. Cool. So anyone who says yes, if your aunt calls her best friends for you and tells her this, and they say, yeah, no problem, I'll help them out, those you can call. So anyone they've talked to who said yes, and anyone you know. Cool? Keep going.
Okay, so give yourself a reward for hitting your goal. The phone's your ATM machine. The more
all right. So this right here, by the way, this is just think about buttons. Like all the top guys know, if they make blank amount of calls, they get this amount of demos, they get this amount of demos, they make this amount of sales. And so some of these guys have calculated like every digit. Like one of my guys, Alfredo Mikael, he's like, every time I press a button, I make $14.62. So think about like, if you're hitting a button, would you stop hitting the button if every time you hit it, you're making money? And look at it like that, and he is so funny, but he's like $14.62 every time I hit that button, and he's like, super bank person and numbers and kind of like he's an engineer actually, but he's just like dinging through there, but it made him motivated to like keep dialing because he knew every button was making him money. Follow the approach word for word. Make calls in the office whenever you can. It's a better environment. You're gonna get better. Like my best people, I sit down and I have them make calls in front of me so I can give them feedback and I can help them out, and they get really freaking good. All right. Think about us as your personal trainers, right? As your coaches. If you're working out, where's your trainer? Right next to you, watching you like, oh, your form's off, you're lifting the right, like they're fixing you up, because if not, you can again develop the wrong habits, and then when you're doing higher weights, what are you going to do? You hurt yourself. Exactly. All right. So that's important. So make calls here, build the right habits, stick with your initial, and especially you guys live further, you're not going to come here all the time. So in your early stages when you're doing training, try to make as many calls here when you're here as possible so you can get feedback and get really good. So when you're doing it on your own, you can be in a really great spot. All right. Then stick with your initial list. We already talked about that. Call yeses first. Some easy layups. Phone must-dos. Go, Lucas.
Smile when you dial. People can tell the difference.
I talked about this in training, but like when you're like this, all right, don't forget you sound different than when you're serious. Keep going.
Be enthusiastic. It is how you say something. Ask for the wife on the phone.
All right. Talk to the women. Make sure that you're talking.
Today with one of my teachers, and he's like, I could. It's the 21st century. Johan, stop being so sensitive.
And you say, and you go, by the way, most of the women are picky about what colors are in their house. So even though you're the cook, I just want to make sure she's there so she picks out the color that matches all her stuff. All right. And the woman usually has the address book and be like, with all the people in it. All right. Then the next thing, go ahead. So always offer 2 times. You guys already knew that. Keep going.
Stress the reference. Blank really thought you'd love it. Get directions and read them back to the customer. Tie your customer into your goal. Let them know how important.
And by the way, even on the phone, are you letting them know, like, hey, I have this really big contest. I'm really excited about it. Like, get them tied into what you're up to so that they want to see you more now. Keep going.
Create urgency. Give them a time frame for when you'd like to hit your goal. Show appreciation. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. You're good.
Confirm date and time. Make sure they write it down so they don't forget. Don't call ahead. Once your appointment is set, show up. Don't call to remind them.
All right, you. Phone do nots. AJ.
Don't set up appointments more than 3 or 4 days in advance.
By the way, even if you have to, like they want to set it up for like 5 days from now, if they have a schedule, have them write it down, but I would still contact them 2 days prior. I never call before unless it was set up far in advance. I always call 2 days prior. Why 2 days prior instead of before the demo?
Because
before.
Oh, right. I'm saying why would I call them 2 days before instead of like the day of?
Because if they're like not at home,
Less pressure.
why would you like? You're wasting your time. Like if you get to the
Just so you
house,
guys know,
like,
most of the time they're going to end up rescheduling, and I'd rather them reschedule 2 days before and I have time
Yeah.
to book somebody
Okay.
else than that day, and then it's like last minute for me to get someone, you know? So I just have more time to fill that spot. Go on.
Don't be afraid to ask for an immediate appointment if they picked up at home.
By the way, this is huge, and it is a little bit different now because people don't have house phones anymore, so they might not be home. But ask them. Never be afraid to say like, "Hey, by the way, I know this is really short notice, but I actually was looking to see if somebody could see me now. I have a spot I'm looking to fill, and I have one later tonight at blank." And if they're home, they'll be like, "Yeah, sure, come by," you know. And boom, especially on the weekends. Those are really easy weekends and evenings, but never be afraid to ask like, "Hey, are you by chance available right now?" Be like, "I had someone that had to reschedule, or I hadn't filled this time slot yet, and I was looking for someone that might be home during the day," you know, whatever it is. But don't be afraid to ask for that immediate one. Go ahead.
Don't overemphasize, cut on the phone, helps with the cost to schedule an appointment. Don't leave a message by that day.
Yeah, and make a note there, put text them. All right, so if they don't pick up, don't forget to text and say, "Hey, I was calling," and you guys have it in your notebook, had a quick question, when's the best time to catch you? So text them, that's like the best way nowadays. On the bottom, guys, you have your prime times. These are prime time that you're gonna reach the most people in the mornings, during lunchtime, in the evenings. So it has all your prime spots there. Sounds good? All right. And I like a little bit later. I like the 8:30 to 9:30. I feel like I catch a lot more people, but that's on there. Then you guys go to firm up. All right. So phone approach, 4 parts to your phone approach. Number 1, the first part to your phone approach. Did you want me to throw that cell phone, or what do you want me to do with it?
No, it's because the mom really just texted me. Like I can show you the text.
Right.
Do you think you can come at 6:30 instead of 7:30? I don't want to like.
You're gonna call her in a minute. We're almost done. So let's wrap up here. So make sure to firm. So 4 parts to any phone approach. Number 1, who the heck you are. Number 2, why you're calling. Number 3, find the time. Number 4, firm up. You guys want it. By the way, if you're doing this properly, this is important because you want to make sure you're not just booking demos. You want to make sure you're completing the demos. And this was an issue I had at first because people would be like, yeah, come by whenever. Oh yeah, I'm like, oh, all right. And I never really firmed it up. And I had people that rescheduled, forgot about me, whatever. And so this is really huge, is this firm up. So we're going to go through that, but make sure that at the end, you're like, oh, by the way, thank you so much. When you're at phone jams, I need to hear you firming it up like this. You know, you're just like, hey, one last thing, do a pen and paper. Make sure they write it down. Confirmation, Penny. Hey, can you draw a smiley face so you know who to look for when you enter the door? Just makes them laugh. And you're like, hey, you told me you lived, you know, or Julie told me you live in the Heights, but she didn't tell me exactly, you know, what neighborhood or how to get there. Make sure it's there. An advanced thing, it says repeat address wrong, and that's just because you see if they're listening to you or not. And then, because they might be doing something else, and then you know, like they're not listening, and they're probably going to forget. Okay, just so you know. Then you're like, hey, sob story. So this is awesome. She's like, hey, I know you would never do this. And so the sob story is like, oh, like I had a lady I booked an appointment with in the Woodlands, and I drove all the way from Clear Lake up to the Woodlands, and when I got there, the lady wasn't even there. And they're like, and I'm like, I know you would never do that to me, but is that a time that definitely works for you? I'm like, all right, awesome. I'm like, well, Miss Smith, I'm gonna be the highlight of your day. Thank you again so much. All right. So just let them know, like, you're working really hard, so they don't mess with your time and your schedule. All right. Then guys, if you go in your manual, please flip to page 13. Where's the appointments? Page 29. All right, page 29. So go to page 29, and on the bottom, the second half is for people that you're connected to. Okay, so maybe it's like mom's friends. You could call your whole parents' address books with this, school directories, like anyone that you're connected to. And so you're just like, hey, Miss Smith, how are you? I don't know if so I called Miss Peralta with this, right? So I called back like old people I played club volleyball with. And I was like, hey, Miss Peralta, how are you? I'm like, it's Kathy Vasquez. How are you? I'm like, I don't know if my name rings a bell, but it's Kathy from South Florida Volleyball Club with Ronnie. And she's like, oh my God, how are you? And I hadn't talked to her in like 3 years. So I was a junior in college when I started this job. And she's like, oh my God, where have you been? Where, you know, we're like chatting. And I was like, well, I'm doing awesome, whatever. And then you're like, hey, so I was hoping you could help me out with something I'm doing. Do you have a second? She's like, yeah, of course. I said, well, hey, what I do is I show a quick presentation of people I've been personally recommended to, like you, on a product called Cutco. You may already know about Cutco. Either way, it's a lot of fun. Best part is I get paid just to do the appointment, so there's no pressure to buy. And the more appointments I do, the better chance I have to hit my goal. And I'm like, so Ms. Protz, I'm in a huge contest. I'm supposed to do 15 more appointments by Thursday, and I only need 2 more tomorrow to hit my goal, or whatever it is. Or I need to do 5 more appointments, tomorrow to hit my goal. So I want to know if I could stop by and see you real quick on Tuesday at 7, or would 8:30 be better? And offer your next available time. So I thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. It means a lot. Then get directions, make sure they write it down. And so, use your firm up to make sure you've got it unlocked. But this is your acquaintance approach. Cool. So now you know how to call people you know really well. Now you know how to call acquaintances. Yeah, make a note so you have that. Page 29. Right next to it, by the way, to the left of it, do you guys see they're handling questions on the phone? So they say to you, hey, can you call me next week? What are you going to say to them if they ask you, can you call me next week? Johan.
I can definitely do that, Ms. Jones, but I'm in a huge contest and I need to complete blank presentation by. Is there any way you can squeeze me in before then?
Cool. If they ask you how long does it take, what are you saying?
30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, and here it says 45 minutes to an hour, but after 15 minutes, if you're not interested, you can kick me right out. So can you squeeze me in at blank time, or blank time be better? If they say call me before you come, Lucas, what do you say if they say call me before you come?
Miss Jones, I'd love to do that, but I'm going to be really busy, and I count on every appointment I have lined up. So is there a better time when you're sure you'll be there?
Cool. Just find a different time is what you want to do. So you guys can go through here. They've seen the demo 100 times. So AJ, if they tell you, oh, I've seen it 100 times, what are you going to say to them?
That's great. You probably do it better than me. All you do is stop by real quick, cut the real pleasure opinion.
Yeah, and it would really help me out with my contest or my scholarship, whatever it is. So
right now,
we
have so many moms doing like graduation things and people coming in town, and like
it's gonna be busy.
So I legit have moms who told me that they can't, but they can in like 2 weeks. Like they legitimately can in 2 weeks. So like,
by the way, offer them to cook lunch with them or something. Like they're gonna eat in the next 2 weeks. So say, hey, if you're willing, and they might not be, and they might not want to, and that's okay, but they're gonna eat. So when it was busy season, I did this during the holidays. I did this during graduation season. I did this certain times where people are busier. They are busier. You say, hey, by the way, I know it's crazy busy. So before I offer the time, Johan, I say, hey, Ms. Smith, I know it's crazy busy and it's like graduation time and everyone has like family and stuff coming into town. So what am I doing? I'm saying it before they do.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I know it's crazy time and like people are coming into town. It's just like a really hard time right now. So what I've been offering is, if you're willing to see me, I'll help you cook dinner or I'll help you make lunch. And you just say, I'll come by for 15, 20 minutes. I'll help you chop all the food up. If you can just give me like 15 minutes, I'll be in and out. Because most of the time you're showing the knives anyway. So just cut stuff, help them cook. And so I'd offer people that and they'd be like, okay, all right, fine, let's do breakfast or whatever, So offer to help them make a meal. And I'm telling you guys that at least 50, if not 70% of the time, they'll end up squeezing you in. But if not, then you'll just do them later. But acknowledge they're busy, acknowledge, you understand that they can't, but offer to help them, prepare a meal for their friends or family. And it's one less thing they have to do, and it helps you out. Cool? So that's what I would do. So on here, you've got handling questions, you've got phone tips, you've got acquaintance approach. So you guys can crush that, and we're going to work on that. And then, guys, flip the page in your packet so I can walk you guys through the rest of your packet here. You've got your schedule. So this, by the way, is summer schedule. So this starts in 2 weeks. Next week, we'll start a version of this, but you guys won't come. We're not going to have Wednesday morning next week, by the way. We're only going to have Thursday night next week. And then the following week, we go into full schedule. Cool? So this right here is our normal office schedule. And obviously, you don't have to be doing all this. So this is just like, the office, like a full, on Sundays, we have PSP. We do all paycheck schedules, phone calls to set up the week. Wednesday mornings, I have my captain's meeting in the morning. Then the rest of the team gets here for team meeting. And Thursday nights, we always have workshops. Phone jam. By the way, you don't have to come to that, but a lot of the guys do because we have team night out after, and we'll all go hang out and like whatever we're doing that week. Saturday mornings, we make pancakes. We have pancake jam and a workshop every Saturday. So again, those aren't required. I do see everyone twice a week on Sunday and on Wednesday. The other things are available to you guys to take advantage of. A lot of the top guys usually come here for those events to make sure they're set up properly. Cool? So just so you guys know, office schedule.
So usually there's Wednesday morning meetings? Correct,
starting in 2 weeks. So the high school guys will start after. Yeah. So this is our summer schedule. The next page you guys can flip to says 10 keys to 10K. So again, this is something we talked about, but this right here is super huge if you guys want to maximize your week. And once you get going, first thing, again, recommendations, you got to have it down. That's the gas to your car. Without gas, your car doesn't move. Got it? Number 2, get your closing and objections memorized. Number 3, participate in 3 phone jams a week. That's going to lead you to the highest success. So making phone calls. And by the way, even if you don't come here, you could go to my office. If you're down by Galleria Mall, I have an office there. I have an office down in Pearland. I have an office that'll be opening in Sugarland now. So if you are down in Missouri City, that's where Philippe's going to have his office, right? So you could stop in another office and make calls there. Like there's a guy here right now who's here from the Humble office making calls here. So you can always stop in any of the locations and make calls there. We have field training where you can go watch someone do a demo or they'll watch you. So you guys will be able to do that after your first week. Weekly PC, a personal consultation with whoever's your team leader. That's free for you guys, by the way. You don't have to pay for it. You'll get assigned to a team as we launch into summer. So it'll be one of the staff members. They all get home this week. All right. But you'll get a weekly PC. And again, that's stuff that the top guys pay $250 to get an hour with a coach to help them. You guys get that for free. I pay them. Okay. So once you're past 30,000 in sales, you pay your own coach. Until you're at 30,000, I pay them for you. All right. Then the next thing, put a star next to Mission 100. You guys need to get 100 names and numbers on your list as soon as possible. So go through mom's cell phone, go through grandma's, go through aunties, whoever it is. But that's the mission. Number 7, 10 demos scheduled per week. That's how you sell $2,000 a week, by the way. Like how Justin was saying.
Yeah.
Like most of the guys, they're focused on 10 to 12 demos every week, so they can sell 2,000 or more every week, no matter what. Think about 10 demos. 10 demos is usually 7 sales. 7 times 300, 2,000. So that's like right on the money. All right. And then 5 calls before and after every demo. Team and event attendance, which you guys, I'll be talking to you. Our first event is as a division is on May 31st. We're finalizing the seating and how many seats every office has. But with us being the pilot office, like I want to get, we have first dibs. Right now we have 35 seats only for our office. And I think we'll have over 75 people on our team. So I'm trying to get more seats, but the earlier people reserve their spot. So that's going to be on Wednesday, May 31st from 2 to 7:30 at City Center. So it's right by the movie theater at City Center.
So we should all come to that.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that's is that like the team bonding thing?
That is my all 24 offices will send their top people. They each have, like, the new offices have 5 seats. The existing offices have 10. My top 5 offices have 15, and we have 35. But it's 100 seats that we have, and I'm trying to get more at the location. But you're going to hear some top people speak. Myself, you'll get to meet top people from all over the division. And basically 2 weeks after that is when the playoffs kick off. Cool. So playoffs kick off on June 12th nationally. So we're basically getting ready for that. Like we're right now
So
5
I'll
weeks
be
away.
having finals. Could I come later?
Yeah, you got the high school kids will be doing whatever. Yeah, you'll come. So we'll get you guys individually and figure that out. But oh heck yeah, you want to come right after. And then guys, this is also something. What did Justin just tell you? Look at number 10. What does it say?
Audio files.
What does it say? The more you learn, the more you're like. The top guys are always getting better. So look on the bottom there. That's from VectorConnect.com. These are some suggested talks on different topics. So there's so many, but those are just some of the top ones that I know are really good that you can utilize. Sounds good? And last thing there, last 2 pages, you guys have, last thing here is the advancement ladder. You guys can read that on your own. But in terms of advancement, moving up, office intern, if those are things you guys are excited about to hook up your resume, there's definitely tons of room for advancement. And we just opened new offices, and we're going to be opening more offices next summer. So there's a lot of room for growth, which is really exciting and really great for your resume. And the last page is, for the cruise, which we were working on with you guys earlier. As people are responding to you on Snapchat, we'll check that later.
Yeah, there's like 50 responses.
That's
so they'll ask you, where is it? What do you do? Whatever. Just get their number. Just say, yo, what's your cell? I'll call you with info, and just text them over to us.
Yeah.
Send them. You can put them in the group me, or you can send them directly to Lorena or I.
She's been doing like 3-way text.
Okay, cool. She's doing 3-way
So
text
should
with
I
yours.
call them, or should I say?
No,
give me a
no,
number,
just
or,
No,
like,
give me-
I'll
just-
call you.
Give it to me. Give it to us. We'll do it. Me, Lorena, Mary Lou, or I will do it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys make sure anything you guys sell, put it online tonight. Cool.
Can I get leather?
Yeah. Go see Mary Lou or Lorena. See who's available. Hello. So go see them so you can get the supplies that you need and make sure you're ready to roll. All right. And then